co-chairman for the Presidential Symposium for the American Society for Pharmacology and Experimental Therapeutics is here with me now, Mary-Ann Bjornsti. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Working hard all throughout the year, chairing these two symposia that you want to talk to us about today.
Sure. So the Presidential Symposium is really the hard work of John Schutz, who's the president of ASPET this year, and he was kind enough to ask me if I would join him in co-chairing it. So there are 4 speakers that really represent, I think, what is probably a really great collection of how new technologies and new approaches can really be brought to bear to answer critical and basic questions about developing new therapeutics or the molecular drivers of carcinogenesis or tumorigenesis. So it's pretty exciting. We have Bill Evans, who's going to be talking about how genomics can predict response in leukemia patients. Martine Roussel is going to be talking about the development of novel animal models to address how to develop new therapeutics for medulloblastoma, which is a pretty aggressive form of pediatric cancer, brain cancer. And then Susan Horowitz, who is just one of my heroes, who's really a fabulous researcher. She has been doing experimental therapeutics research for decades and was involved in developing Taxol among many other agents. So she's going to be talking about her activities. And then Kip Guy will be talking about how to drug protein-protein interactions, which is a particularly challenging problem in drug discovery and drug development. So it'll be a really nice kind of a survey of the landscape of how technology can really drive new insights into cancer biology and new opportunities for therapeutic development.
With so many people here, so many societies coming together, how do you think these really fit in and sort of drive what we're talking about here at the experimental biology meeting?
I think one of the best things about the experimental biology meeting is that you get to encounter technologies or domains of science that you wouldn't normally see in your normal work. So it's so broad, it's so diverse in terms of its scope, that when you have the world's experts coming and giving you a perspective in a way that is clearly designed for a broader audience, you're like a sponge at a scientific pool, and you just start taking in all this information. So I think this is probably one of the best meetings for coming back home and saying, wow, I saw this talk, it was really amazing. I've never thought of this before, but we could combine this with this, and I'm going to give this person a call. Maybe we could set up a collaboration, because it would be something that would really complement what we're doing, but provide a completely different perspective. And that's not typically what you get at meetings like this.
And that diversity, those collaborations, can be such a benefit. Are there challenges with that as well?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a meeting of separate societies. So we all have our own scientific communities in which we reside, and we all speak a fairly common language within those communities. And I think the challenge of finding a venue where you can both talk with your colleagues about the minutiae of your specific domain, but then also have the opportunity to reach far beyond your own horizons and go beyond your walls and find people that are doing things that would really surprise you, or that you've never thought about before, or gee, I don't know anything about that. That would be a really fun thing to go listen to. And the sessions are usually so well organized, not only in terms of the quality of the science and the speakers, but there's also question and answers periods. And most big meetings, and I won't say which ones they are, typically don't have the opportunity to ask questions of the leaders in the field. I think this meeting is also good because it's tried very hard to give young people a chance to get on the podium. And that's really amazing. I've had students who have come to this meeting who've gotten travel awards, been given talks when they didn't anticipate getting one, and it's just such an invigorating experience, and it gets them up in front of a group of scientists so they can hone their skills in presenting their science. It's really great.
You've talked so eloquently about really all of the benefits of this meeting, but do you think there's one thing that stands out for you, why you personally want to be here, why it's so beneficial?
I think because this is a meeting where if you want to have an impact, you can. So if you want to get involved, you can. You join a society, you submit proposals for symposia, you can volunteer through your individual society to organize sessions or to become a co-chair or chair of a session. And those opportunities are not so easily come by at other meetings. So it's a large scale, so the breadth of science is broad, but it's still a meeting of communities. So it's like, as we talked earlier, I grew up in Brooklyn, so thinking of a city where it's a huge city, but it's a city of neighborhoods. And if you can get outside of your neighborhood into the next neighborhood, that's really exciting, and that's what this meeting does.
That is a great analogy. Well, thanks so much for all the work that you have done to make this meeting great.
I'm excited to be here. It's going to be a great meeting, and everybody should come to the symposium.
Thanks.